The sun was bleeding into the desert horizon when the drums began. The Apache village gathered around a trembling girl named Naya, barely 18, her wrists bound in beads and rope. Her father had promised her to an older warrior, a man twice her age, in exchange for peace. But Naya's eyes held rebellion. "Please," she whispered to the wind, her voice trembling, "I want to live free, not in chains." From a nearby ridge, Ethan Cole, a young cowboy trailing cattle, saw the scene unfold. He had heard rumors about the forced marriage of an Apache girl, but seeing her tears under the crimson sky shattered something inside him. When the drums grew louder and the firelight flickered on her face, Ethan felt a pull stronger than fear. He tightened his reins, his jaw set. That night, when everyone's attention turned to the feast, a horse's gallop cut through the desert silence. And before the warriors could react, Naya was lifted onto Ethan's saddle, the wind carrying her desperate cry, half fear, half hope, into the night. Ethan rode hard through the desert trails, his heart pounding louder than the hooves beneath him. Behind them, torches flared, warriors shouting in rage. Naya clung to him, her tears cutting through the dust on her cheeks. "Why?" she asked between sobs. "Why would you risk your life for me?" He didn't answer. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe something about her eyes, that mix of courage and pain, reminded him of everything he'd lost. As the night deepened, the fire from their pursuers lit the canyon walls. Ethan steered his horse down a hidden gully, following the moon's pale light. They reached a narrow stream, where the horse finally slowed, trembling. "Drink," Ethan said softly, helping her dismount. She stared at the cowboy, confused. No man had ever looked at her with kindness, not as a prize, not as property. "You're free now," he said, turning away. But when Naya's hand caught his arm, he realized freedom wasn't something either of them truly had. They found a small cave before the storm rolled in. Lightning painted the sky, and thunder echoed through the desert like war drums. Ethan gathered dry branches and sparked a fire. Naya sat quietly, wrapped in his worn coat. "You should go back," he said, avoiding her gaze. "They'll come after you." "I'd rather die in the storm," she whispered, "than live in a cage." Her words cut through him. He had once said something similar to his father when he left home to chase freedom across the frontier. Maybe fate had brought him to this moment, to save the one person who still believed in choice. When the rain softened, Naya fell asleep by the fire. Ethan watched her face, strong, defiant, and heartbreakingly young. Outside, the storm faded, but inside, something had begun between them, fragile, forbidden, and real. At dawn, smoke rose from the valley, the warriors had tracked them. Ethan's horse neighed nervously. "They're coming," he said. Naya stood, her eyes fierce. "Then we face them together." He admired her courage but knew the odds. "You don't owe me your life. And you don't owe me your death," she replied. When the warriors appeared on the ridge, Ethan stepped forward, gun drawn but voice calm. "She's not your prisoner anymore." The chief dismounted, tall, imposing, Naya's father. For a long silence, their eyes locked. Then the old man's gaze softened. "You risked death for her. That means something." He turned to his men. "Let them go." The warriors rode off, leaving dust and disbelief behind. Ethan dropped his gun, breath shaking. Naya smiled for the first time. "You see," she said softly, "even the desert can show mercy." Days later, they rode across the open plains, the sky endless above them. No torches, no pursuit. "Where will we go?" she asked. Ethan smiled faintly. "Anywhere you want." For the first time, Naya laughed, free, unafraid. "Then let's go where the wind doesn't know our names." They crossed the river, side by side, the horizon glowing gold. Behind them lay fear, and ahead stretched a world neither had ever known, one built not on power, but on choice. And when the cowboy reached for her hand, she didn't pull away. The desert had taken much from them both, but in its silence, it had given something no one could take, a love born of freedom.